Nunn looks back.
And the Grammy for Song of the Year.
What's it take to write a song so good it wins the music industry's top award? Neil Sedaka has some idea. He received 5 Grammy nominations for performing and writing. Among them, this song he composed for Captain and Tennille.
I write so that it's singable.
Other songwriters talk of the need for a memorable hook and repetition, but no matter the elements, it often comes down to an undefinable magic.
The sentiment is right. It gives you that in the groin, in the heart, chills.
Gary Nunn, CBS News.
President Trump says he's not happy with the latest talk over Iran's nuclear program, but indicated he would give the negotiators more time to reach a deal to avert another war in the Middle East. He has threatened military action if Iran does not agree to his conditions. Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi tells Margaret Brennan on this Sunday's Face the Nation.
The single most important achievement, I believe, is the agreement that Iran will never, ever have a nuclear material that will create a bomb.
Anthropic and the Pentagon failed to reach an agreement on use of an artificial intelligence system. President Trump has ordered all federal agencies to phase out use of Anthropic technology. CBS's Elizabeth Cook on what the president has posted on social media.
The left-wing nut jobs at Anthropic have made a disastrous mistake trying to strong-arm the Department of War and force them to obey their terms of service instead of our Constitution.
The FAA plans to limit flights at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. Sources tell CBS News that the move at one of the nation's busiest airports was prompted by concerns the capacity and operational delay issues that played out over the summer at Newark Airport would spread to O'Hare. Former President Bill Clinton has been deposed by the House Oversight Committee. He said he did nothing wrong with Jeffrey Epstein as he was grilled over their relationship. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna.
President Clinton answered the questions. I think you'll see when we have the deposition that our side that put the survivors first.
Paramount Skydance owner of CBS is set to buy Warner Brothers Discovery after Netflix dropped out of bidding, setting up another major Hollywood merger. Stocks fell today on Wall Street. The Dow closed down 521 points. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Coming up, Sound Transit takes action on copper wire theft. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Let's start you here in Seattle. We've got a new collision, South 5 at Denny Way, taking up 2 left lanes. That includes the HOV lane, and you're sitting in a parking lot starting at Lake City Way. It's a half hour right now from Linwood to Seattle. North 5, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Half hour to commute through downtown northbound. South 405, you're slow through Bellevue. You're going to clear out just past Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton's at 25 minutes. North 405, you're slow through the Renton S-curves. Up in Bothell, northbound 405 at 195th. We've got a large pothole in that left general purpose lane, so get out of that lane if you're heading that direction. Everett to Marysville, less than 15 minutes. And in the south end, Tacoma to Olympia, we're pushing an hour already at 55 minutes. It's slow through South Tacoma, couple miles back up through JBLM, and more slowing between Lacey and Olympia. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The head of Sound Transit is asking King County prosecutors to crack down on copper thieves after a series of thefts. CEO Dow Constantine.
I've scheduled a meeting with the King County Prosecutor's Office. The prosecutor has been working over the course of more than a year on this issue, and we will be discussing the challenges and how we can continue to partner together.
A copper theft shut down one major line for 3 hours on the day of the Seahawks Super Bowl victory parade. Just last week, another line went dark for the same reason. State lawmakers are also responding. A bill in Olympia would require scrap yards to upload photos of any copper wire they buy into a statewide database. Local business owner is apologizing for testifying in favor of the Millionaire tax. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay explains.
Construction supply company H.D. Fowler chairman Jed Fowler is stepping down as chair after his testimony to state senators this month that investing in communities is pro-business.
It's better to grow the pie than to fight about slicing it. I'm willing to pay this tax. I should pay this tax. Others like me should pay this tax.
In a letter to customers obtained by Seattle Red, Fowler apologized for being, quote, disconnected from your challenges. He'll stay on as president, and he says he'll end all his public political advocacy and donate nearly 10% of his salary to construction industry PACs. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And today, a key House committee passed the Millionaire tax. Voters will not get a direct say. Republican Representative Tom Orcutt tried and failed to require a public referendum.
I see it in my inbox every day, and probably every hour of every day, that people are opposed to any form of an income tax.
Now, the committee did make one change to the bill, removing sales tax from more items like diapers. The full House could vote on the bill next week. Kent Police is set to boost the number of officers on the streets thanks to new law enforcement funding. The money comes from a new sales tax and $100 million grant program enacted by the legislature last year. Kent Police Chief Raphael Perez tells us.
It would move us from 170 allotted positions to 180. However, when you're understaffed by about 35 officers, we're looking at this as one significant first step.
Kent PD was the first in the state to qualify for that new funding. Now to your weather updates. Mostly cloudy skies, a couple of sun breaks as well, and mostly sunny skies this weekend. No rain in the forecast as well. Looking at 52 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
The John Curley effect is real. Now, every time a family member or friend starts to tell me the same story, I always shout out, "Heard it, move on."
There you go. Thank you. Keep it going. Father be proud. It originated at the dinner table. My father liked to point to each one of us to have us tell a story. You know, what do you got? What do you got? And if you didn't have a story, or you started the story, you had to heard it, move on. And somebody else had to tell a story.
That's my favorite.
You had to hold the attention of the old man. Got him to laugh is the greatest. And if you got him to laugh that turned into a cough, 100 points. All righty. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday. There's Teeny back in her spot again. She had some time off yesterday. Apparently drunk on the job. Yep. She's apologized for that. And she's going to just make amends. And she apologizes for that. Okay.
It's good enough for government.
I was thinking, so don't do anything on yet. No, hold on. Wait. Before I start.
Come on, easy.
So Fitzgibbon's in there, and, I think it was 10 o'clock at night. He's long, rambling, drunken monologue about whatever. Couldn't quite follow the whole thing. Everybody's all crazy about it. Like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. They're probably one of the best stories of a person directly involved in taxing people and increasing the size of government is Wilbur Mills. It's a great story. Joe had never heard about him before. So when you compare what Fitzgibbons did at 10 o'clock at night, they're sitting there talking, nothing compared to what Wilbur did. Unless there's more to the story. We'll find out a little later on. Plus, aliens are coming. Joe mentioned this the other day. He said, you wait and see. When this Epstein stuff gets to be too hot, then all of a sudden they're going to try to distract everybody with, hey, look at this. There's a Martian who wants to get probed. And you're really proud of yourself, aren't you?
I'm just calling him like I see him. And
how about the man that was trying to get his certification to fly a pilot? All he had to do was take off, fly a little bit, and land. He was a 23-year-old Mexican guy. This was back in 1970-something or whatever it was. All of a sudden, as he tries to come in, the plane starts to lift up. He's not controlling it anymore. And apparently, for hours and hours on end, an alien is using the young pilot's voice to speak to air traffic control to explain, hey, you look out, you guys are starting to mess around with nuclear bombs, atomic bombs. We don't like the way the world's going. You better straighten things out. We are aliens, but we can speak all your languages. We're a lot like you. So just, clean up your act a little bit.
Oh.
I wish I could say it was on this very day, but still, sound from the transmission between the air traffic control and apparently the alien using Raphael's voice.
Yes.
We're turning in coast to coast. Joe, what are you doing to the show?
2 years we've been
driving it into coast to coast land. Let's see. Oh, yes. By the way, people on the far left, this just gives people on the right or in the middle, like, just to say how crazy you are. Don't do this. Don't be involved in this. But KIRO 7 will tell you more about it. Plus, Dave Larson's going to stop by. So this guy, a judge, ran for the Washington State Supreme Court, didn't win. He's going to run again, wants to get in there. We're going to ask Larson what he thinks about is income property and will they be able to get away with taxing people's income as they try to describe it as property. And will Larson be able to answer that for us without getting into trouble?
He can't say how he would rule on it.
Right. Okay. All right, let's do this. I was thinking. So, Joe Fitzgibbon, don't feel bad. Listen, you drank, you had too much. The story is that apparently he was drunk and some friends drove him home. And people were wondering, like, how did he get back again? That is not confirmed. Those are just some pieces that are sort of coming together from people that are letting the news organizations know. All right. So he's there, and he's making a long, rambling speech about really nothing.
Care for a little?
Yeah, give me a little something.
There is no state out of 50 that I would rather be a public employee with my retirement system managed by state government than this state. Because of the decisions of the legislature and making sure that those pension plans are fully funded and that are the envy of every state in the country.
Joe spent his entire life working in the public sector. He used to be, I think, a city planner, and now he makes $80,000 a year, likes the fact that the government is taking care of him. He's got the pensions. It's best state to work in if you like that kind of thing. All right. That aside, Wilbur Mills. So Mills, Arkansas congressman, this guy serves from 1939 to 1977. He becomes the most powerful man in Washington because he's running the House Ways and Means. Now, House Ways and Means, these are the guys, all guys in there at the time, that decide where your money that you earned is going to be spent by the federal government. And Mills kept this whole thing. Nobody was allowed in. He would, make sure that everything was aligned with what the IRS did. There were no exceptions to the exceptions, no loopholes and stuff. It was lock solid down, completely secret. No lobbyists were allowed to know about where the money is. They couldn't get in there. Hey, could you do us a favor and carve this out or let us have this or let us have that? So Mills had everything locked down and he was in total control. The most powerful man in Washington because he controlled where all of our money went. All right. Southern Democrat, but racist. Anyway, he fiscally conservative compared to most. He had a lust for increasing the size of government. Started with Medicare. He got that going, which broke the medical marketplace. They also expanded Social Security. He was big on that, so we'd like to help set up that Ponzi scheme. His libido for taxes and the control of everything were second only to his love for Fanny Fox. Apparently, this Argentinian bombshell would often go to these sort of a seedy strip club there in Washington, D.C. And Wilbur was like, hey, she's a beautiful woman. I'd like to tax her, if you know what I mean.
Question.
Yes.
Was he married?
Yes, he was. He was married to a woman named, they had two daughters, Gertrude. Okay. I got to get back into character again. I'd like to tax that. She'd be up on stage, and he's like, whoa! Woo! Go, Fanny! Go, Fanny Fox! Go! You better shake that thing. I got a House and Ways Means Committee going on right here. Woo. Wilbur loved her. The fact that he was married it didn't bother anybody because he said, listen, my wife and I, we're we're trying to help her career along. We're gonna make her famous. We're working on getting her more famous. All right, get this. Okay, out she goes. Here's what happens. It's 2:00 in the morning on October 7th, 1974. Wilbur is in the car with Fanny and 3 other women. Sure, they're all going to night school together. And here's what happens. Let's see, where is it? Okay, so the cops pull him over because it's 2:00 in the morning. They don't have any headlights on. And at this point, Fanny decides that she wants to save Wilbur Mills, the most powerful man in Washington, D.C., from the cops having to question him. So she hops out of the car. Here she's talking about it.
But I really, at that point, I want to get out of the car and talk to the police officer and tell him that I was responsible for what happened. I didn't want anybody to get near the car and see Mr. Mills there. And he didn't want me to get out of the car, but I did. I started talking to the officers, and they really ignored me completely.
She's not used to men ignoring her completely. So what'd she do?
Mm-hmm. And so I climbed into this 5 feet tall little wall around the bridge.
You climbed over the bridge on the...
Yes.
That's Geraldo Rivera, by the way.
And I
jumped into the water.
Yes.
This was in October, and I'm just really curious as to where you were going to swim to.
She dives into the Tidal Basin. I don't know. I mean, maybe she's trying to distract the police away from Wilbur, but they get him. And 2 days later, he denies it for a little while. And 3 days later, he comes forward and says, yeah, so, okay, well, that was me. And, I'm not proud of what was happening, but let's get back to business. He was able to ignore the press and keep going because he had so much power there in Washington, D.C. So he then decides that he's going to go a month later. He goes up to Boston because Fanny's up there, and now she's known as the Tidal Basin bomber. Bombshell. Okay. Thank you. So Mills goes up to Boston, and she's dancing on stage, and then she invites him on stage. Up there, she's like half nude or something. He's like, well, I'm on stage with Fanny. All right. The press wants to talk to him because this really is going to be an enormous story in Washington, D.C. All the exits are completely blocked by all the reporters. So there's no way Wilbur's going to get out of there with Fanny, who's now known as the Tidal Basin bombshell. So what happens is the press catch him and...
Will you be visiting the show in New York?
Will I be in New York? No, I'm canceling that.
What did your wife say about this? What did your wife say about the headlines this morning?
What?
What did your wife say today when you talked with her?
We're canceling the show.
Which show?
So at this point, he's standing there. The press is all around him. They're like, what's going on? Or, and because there's supposed to be another show because don't forget, he's handling her career. But he didn't tell Fanny that we're canceling the show. And now they start to argue a little bit. By the way, when they were in the car prior to the cops stopping them, they got into a fight. She punched Wilbur a bunch of times and he punched her and she had 2 black eyes.
What show?
So what Joe did there, getting drunk at 10 o'clock at night, is nothing in comparison.
After New York.
No more shows after New York? No, that's not true. No.
We are.
No, that's not true.
Now just argument where his next show is.
No, I'm not canceling this show. No.
You know it is.
How do you feel the American public will react to your attention to Miss Falk?
Well, they should react very well, very favorably. All I'm trying to do is to launch a career.
Don't you think this looks bad for you personally?
Is that another term for getting it on? Launch somebody's career?
Wow, that's a tease.
Like to launch her career. Hang on.
Only as a married chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, though?
My wife's in on it.
Why didn't you bring it on about? Yes. Okay.
Oh, we gotta go.
Okay.
Come on, let's thank you for your help. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Would you all let me leave here now? All right.
All right, so he leaves. He gets reelected 6 months later, 60% of the vote. But it's so embarrassing for the rest of his peers, they tell him to step down. So he does step down. He then joins AA, goes into the hospital, is able to recover as best he possibly can from the addiction of alcohol. He ends up not seeking re-election in 1976 to think that he was going to be possibly a presidential candidate in 1972. Wilbur was, but this whole thing falls apart. So what happens is after he's out of there, the House Ways and Means Committee opens up. Lobbyists are able to come in. Oh, by the way, Wilbur, the next year, comes in as a tax lobbyist. Woo, what do you know? And at that point, it's now completely open for everybody, every lobbyist to come in, to pay these guys off, to be able to get their little loopholes, to get their little carve-outs, to tax this person or tax that person. But before that, Wilbur had everything all locked down, and there was no way you could change it. In fact, when a Republican nominated for the House or got into the House, I think it was Archer, he said he wanted to return the House Ways and Means Committee back to the way it was when Wilbur was running it, and they could never do that again. So there you go. That's the story. Again, in perspective, it's nothing just to be up there, drunk off your butt, making some long monologue. Nah. Unless you find him hanging out with Fanny.
Wilbur Mills and Gertrude.
Wilbur and Gertrude.
They don't name them like that anymore.
Well, not from Arkansas.
Anna Fox.
Yep.
So are you saying that he was essentially the first lobbyist?
No. There were other lobbyists, but he came back before when he was running the show. You didn't know where the House Ways and Means Committee was doing stuff because he did it all in secret.
I see.
Then when he got out of there, then it was opened up and other people were able to know about it. So lobbyists were able to come in and hear, hey, I hear you're working on this particular thing. Would you do us a favor and carve this thing out for us? Because
they knew where to spend their money now.
Yeah, they did. Now they knew which directions of stuff going. Because when Wilbur was running the show, they didn't know. All of a sudden it would come out and be like, there it is. It was too late. It was set up. And he always made sure everything was in line with the tax laws that were already in place with the IRS. So it didn't create all of these crazy twists and turns. But you'd have, somebody come forward that runs some, manufacturing plant somewhere and say, hey, listen, we've got 10,000 jobs. Make sure this works out for us. So slide that into the tax little break for us. It's the same thing you see they're doing right now in Olympia. They're calling it a millionaire's tax. It's not a millionaire's tax. Then they try to get all these carve-outs. Oh, if you have this many employees, you make this amount of money or this. They're just trying to make sure that they get enough people to think, well, I'm safe. They won't get me. Don't tax me, tax the man behind the tree. There you go. Put it all in perspective for you. You got it all?
Got it.
There you go.
Oh.
They can't find the rest of my papers. I'm not throwing them away. I've learned my lesson. Let's check Nate checking traffic. Nathan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. South 5, we're stop and go from the U District to I-90. We cleared our earlier collision near Denny Way, so this has opened things up for us. Still about a half hour from Linwood to Seattle. North 5, scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Nothing new here. It's a half hour from bridge to bridge, but once you get over this backup, it's wide open all the way into Linwood. Seattle to Linwood, just a 20-minute drive. Bellevue to Linwood, 25 minutes. Nothing major in your way yet. South 405 is slow through Bellevue starting at 520 after Cold Creek Parkway. This thins out to scattered backups into South Center. Bellevue to South Center, we're pushing a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way is at 35 minutes. It's heavy from 405 to South 200th, where collisions on your right shoulder and traffic slows down at the scene. Renton to Puyallup on southbound 167 is at 40 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down to 50 minutes. We have a high wind advisory at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, and just getting reports now of a bad collision on westbound 164th just outside Mill Creek, blocking all westbound lanes. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means
when it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life.
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchies.
Worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchies worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
You know, retirement is supposed to be a time of rest and relaxation. But every week I get calls from seniors who are stressed out because their cost of living keeps going up. They love their home and they want to stay in it, but they're struggling with rising property taxes, monthly bills, and monthly mortgage payments if they have one. Hi, I'm Steve Tytler, owner of Best Mortgage, a local family-owned company. I specialize in the reverse mortgage, which allows seniors to tap into your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. A reverse mortgage is a great option for some people, but it's not right for everyone. So give me a call and you'll talk directly to me in person or over the phone for honest advice you can trust. Search for Best Mortgage on the web or call us at 425-649-6000. You'll talk to me, not an AI robot. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Iron Man. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
If you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil, check out Sky Nursery's schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about fruit trees, roses, hanging baskets, and veggie gardening, even a festival of willow. Details at skynursery.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Former President Bill Clinton faced nearly 6 hours of questions today from members of the House Oversight Committee, telling them he was unaware of any abuse involving Jeffrey Epstein. Washington Congresswoman Emily Randall is a member of that panel.
No one is above the law, and anyone with knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes should absolutely come before the committee to give testimony about what they saw.
Former president says he did nothing wrong. More from CBS's Torian Small.
In his prepared remarks, the former president, who appears in multiple photos in the Epstein files, also slammed the committee for dragging his wife into the investigation. She testified Thursday.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein.
Democrats on the committee want President Trump to testify.
And today's interview marks the first time a former president has been required to testify to lawmakers. Well, apparently drinking on the job at Olympia is not all that uncommon. That claim from Republican Representative Michelle Valdez.
Unfortunately, I think some people may use alcohol as a escape for all the stress.
She talked to Jason Rantz on Seattle Red after Democratic Representative Joe Fitzgibbon acknowledged he was under the influence during a recent committee hearing. Fitzgibbon apologized and says he's disappointed in himself. Today, a King County jury awarded $24 million to the family of a Colorado man who died after receiving stem cell injections at a Seattle clinic. 62-year-old Michael Trujillo died in April 2019 after a spinal injection at Seattle Stem Cell Center. No comment yet from that clinic. His family sued for wrongful death. A stolen bicycle leads police in Kirkland to a trove of drugs, guns, and cash. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Kirkland police say it all started when a Seattle man reported to police his stolen bike was listed on an online marketplace with a Kirkland address. A warrant was issued, and once inside the apartment, police found the stolen bike and a lot more. Kirkland police officer Tiffany Thrombley.
They got fentanyl, methamphetamine, some cash, one rifle, and one pistol.
Officers also arrested 2 men with active felony warrants. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, we are getting busy all of a sudden out there. I'm just getting a message on X from the Seattle Fire Department. Says they are on scene of a 3-vehicle collision with one turned over and occupants trapped. That'd be trapped at Fairview Avenue and North Republican here in Seattle, not far from our station here. Up in Mill Creek, we've got a collision on 164th Street at 3rd Avenue. Has all your westbound lanes blocked. This is just west of 527. Heading into Seattle, South 5, solid from the U District to the Convention Center. Linwood to Seattle, 25 to 30 minutes. North 5, nothing new here. We're scattered backups between West Seattle and the Ship Canal Bridge. It's going to take you about a half hour to make it through downtown Seattle. South 405 slows from Bellevue, starting at 520 down to Coal Creek Parkway. From there, you're going to thin out as you head into Renton. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. South Center to Bellevue, 25 minutes, and it's slow northbound 405 from South Center through the Renton Landing. Seattle to Federal Way will take you a half hour, heavy from 405 to South 200th, where we've got a collision on the right shoulder slowing you down. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down to 45 minutes. It is crowded in South Tacoma. Pretty good backup now between JBLM into DuPont, and then more slowing as you make your way into Olympia. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. Looking like a pretty nice weekend out there. No rain in the forecast, mix of clouds, and actually mainly sunny skies looks like for Sunday. Highs each day in the low to mid 50s. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go. You can be a part of the show. Yes, you can. Break into the world of show business, or at least let us read your text on the air, your thoughts, your comments, your concerns. 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Oh, they're welcome. All right, go ahead. Gloat for a little while, Joe.
No, wait a minute. Home Comfort Alliance?
Oh, Home Comfort Alliance. When it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric, there's only one place to call. That's Home Comfort Alliance. Right now, they're having a big special. You know, you got your furnace to give you the heat, then you got your AC. You got two different machines there. Why not a heat pump? Ooh. And I told Home Comfort Alliance, don't call it just a heat pump. Call it like a heat pump, cool pump. Because people that go, I need it cool. No, it does cooling and heating.
Excellent.
Nice.
We're very excited about that. HomeComfortAlliance.com. All right, you go ahead and gloat.
Okay, so 1 week ago today, we were talking, I don't recall what the topic was, but you said to me, when do you think Trump is going to release the UFO files?
Yes.
And I said, I don't know, probably the next time something bad in the Epstein files pops up. 30 minutes later, as I was driving home, I sent you a text that Trump posted on Truth Social. Due to popular interest, I'm going to order the Department of Defense to release all information pertaining to UAPs and UFOs and extraterrestrial life.
I know, I ignored it.
You responded quantum physics.
This is known as wag the dog, right? If you want to direct attention away from something. Clinton did it when he bombed an aspirin factory. There was even a movie made about it, which was like, geez, well, they're just like, they're making a movie about it. They must do it. So if you want to redirect, they have two different things they do. Either they dump stuff on Friday during a holiday where they just hope the media doesn't pick up on it. Or you make everybody, hey, look over here. Okay, so you're saying the look over here is the Trump administration has said that they will be releasing all of it because apparently there's just everybody wants to know.
They're at the door of the White House demanding the release of the UFO files.
Okay.
Thomas Massey called it a weapon of mass distraction.
We still do not, other than the fact that Bill Clinton testified today. We don't know anything about that. We know that Hillary testified for a number of hours, and apparently there was a little bit of screaming and yelling in there. I don't know what Bill said during his.
He said he didn't do anything nefarious.
Right, and people now are finding that the DOJ has intentionally removed photos.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that one yesterday. The compromising Howard Lutnick photo.
Okay.
And the FBI...
Well, I'm going to move on to UFOs, Joe, because that's more interesting.
Fair.
So it was 1976, and there's a 23-year-old pilot named Raphael Perez. And apparently he's going to get his pilot's license. All he has to do is get up, fly around, do a couple of loops, and then bring it back in again. He's out there flying, and all of a sudden, there's a big thing of fog shows up, which is not that uncommon. But he then feels the plane sort of lifting up. He passes out for 2 hours or something like that. And as the story goes, he is disappeared for hours somewhere near Acapulco, right?
But he returned with a full fuel tank.
Raphael Perez, a 23-year-old student pilot at Escuela de Aviación, Mexico, vanished during a solo training flight on June 21st, 1976, only to reappear under very mysterious circumstances. But an hour after takeoff, his plane was suddenly detected over Acapulco.
And then to Epstein Island. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
More than 300 kilometers south, in the opposite direction of his intended route. It was a trip that would have taken 3 hours to complete. Acapulco air traffic controller Carlos de Cresci then received a chilling radio transmission. Though using Pacheco's voice, the message claimed the following.
He speaks because he is ordered to do so. That is, this is his voice. He is speaking, but not of his own free will. We are using him as if he were. Yes, we are using him as a microphone.
So apparently these are the aliens using him.
The voice asserted that humans were not alone in the universe, describing their race as physically...
See, if I were Trump, I'd be all over this.
Ooh.
How about the Mexican guy?
Identical to humans, and capable of understanding any human language instantly. To test their claim, De Cresci switched between Spanish...
De Cresci is the air traffic control guy, so now he's going to test him.
English, and German. and the voice responded fluently in each, despite Pacheco only knowing Spanish. When the plane landed at 11:22 a.m., investigators noted startling anomalies. The Cessna's fuel tank was nearly full, despite the long flight. Medical examinations confirmed that Pacheco was sober and healthy, and the young pilot reported total amnesia, recalling only feeling drowsy before falling asleep after ascending above 10,000 feet.
Okay, and then here's the audio traffic. What's happening with Epstein? Any pictures?
Don't jump.
I'm not intent. Listen, I'm just following along with the whole alien stuff, and I found this. This is it. Okay, so here's the alien talking to air traffic control.
This is correct. This is us. This is his voice, but we're speaking through him. You're not alone, and we are watching.
Wasn't he? Didn't they basically say, stop messing around with atomic bombs?
I didn't hear anything about the nuke in the story.
Just letting them know that hey, we're watching. We can.
Yeah. Got our eyes on him.
Okay. Okay, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. This does sound like coast to coast. But because they're talking about this alien stuff.
Right.
Trump's going to release these files. He's won't do it on a Friday. You'll tease it through the weekend. And then you're going to try to do some damage control on the Epstein stuff. You're going to want to direct everybody over to Clinton. Look, they're all, whether Trump directly was involved in this, did he, was he doing horrible things to young women? Where's the evidence of this? And then drag everybody else down. But it's like, okay, don't look at us, Republicans. Look over at these. Don't look at Howard. Look at Bill Clinton.
Right.
The whole thing is just a big stinking ball.
Yes, it is a disgusting smelling ball.
But it's what they're hoping for. Everyone, Democrat and Republican. The people just tire of it. If you slowly drip it out, you just move on to something else.
I've been mainlining this stuff for 3 weeks.
I know. And look, it's not healthy for you.
I ain't tired of it.
It's not healthy for you.
Yeah, but you're changing, Joe.
You are. You're not the same Joe we knew.
We want the old Joe back.
No, I'm a better Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, where are you?
I like this Joe.
Yes, see?
Why do you like this Joe?
We're changing things.
I
like old Joe.
I like this Joe. Just worth the conversation.
That's right, Wyatt. We're going to burn it down and build it back.
Okay. Normally when I play this music, Joe takes his pants off. No, but new Joe. New Joe. Huh?
Nope. Too busy. I'm reading.
Nope. All right. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nate.
All right, Mill Creek, we've got a collision this afternoon on 164th Street right at 3rd Avenue. This is blocking the westbound lanes. This is just west of 527. Avoid 164th right now because there are big backups in both directions. Here in South Lake Union, a 3-car collision with one rollover blocking Fairview Avenue at Republican, which is just 1 block south of Mercer. South 5, the main line is solid from the U District to the Convention Center. Linwood to Seattle, about 25 minutes. North 5, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge. Across the Ship Canal Bridge, of course, where Revive I-5 blocks 2 left lanes. There's a big clear patch through the middle of this. It's about a half hour, though, from bridge to bridge. Once you get over, or through this, rather, the backups, you're wide open all the way into Linwood. Seattle to Linwood, just 20 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, we're down to 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 40-minute commute. And Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes. Your biggest backup is between JBLM and DuPont. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your tax return is one of the most important financial documents that you produce every year. Have you ever looked at it and you wonder, what else can I do to minimize my taxes? And John Curley here from Madrona Financial 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop. This actually sounds like fun. It's a hands-on planning workshop. Helps you look at the 1040 return and uncover tax reduction strategies to avoid future surprises and plan ahead with confidence. Now, once you know what to look for, you can make smarter moves next year and beyond. This is the 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop at 6 p.m. on March 3rd. I should send Nick to this thing. Madrona Financial's office right there in Kirkland. It's going to be free. It's hands-on. It's going to expose all the different ways to pay less in taxes and plan for the future. If you want fewer surprises and more control, this workshop is for you. It's going to be Tuesday, March 3rd, 6 p.m. Now, the seats, they fill up fast. Whenever Madrona does something like this, people are like, I want to go. And then all of a sudden, there's no more seats. So you want to RSVP right away. 833-673-7373. 833-673-7373. MadronaFinancial.com/events. Grab your seat today. This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at MadronaFinancial.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So, whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee...
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Plans for the weekend? Maybe you'd like to damage your vocal cords because this is Scream Club Chicago.
Yes, which inspired Scream Club Seattle.
Is this where they're all standing there on the shore there screaming at the water?
Yes.
Yeah. I guess they're yelling about Trump or something. I'm assuming that's what that was.
Could be.
The one that's happening in Seattle over the weekend is, according to KIRO 7, it doesn't say that it's necessarily political. It's just, you just go and scream if you'd like for whatever you want.
They take it very seriously in Chicago.
Sometimes you just want to scream. So Lincoln Park on Sunday at 5 p.m., I guess right after you go to Mass. The Seattle Scream Club, we meeting let out a big community scream. There's a reason behind the scream. The event's description is scream is a release to reset the mind and body. When we all do it together, something shifts. So here they are having something shift in Chicago.
So we do have a ritual of how we do it. It's not just you come and scream and you go home.
Okay. Oh, so what do you do?
So what we started off with having a biodegradable piece of paper where we physically write down what we want to let go.
Chris is biodegradable.
Isn't all paper technically, or shouldn't it be?
Well, yeah, okay.
And then Manny walks us through a little breath for a couple of minutes.
Oh, so this person's on the set of some news organization.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. Okay.
And then we do the scream. We throw the piece of paper in the water to really physically show that we're letting go of something out.
All right, fine.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? If it makes you feel better and you end up, meeting somebody and like, hey, I like the way you scream, then find it handy.
Remind me when it is.
You're going to go?
Well, I mean, at least to get some video or something, right?
Oh, look at you working hard. It's Sunday at 5 p.m., but I assume you'd be in your rabbit hole reading about the Epstein files.
I might need a break. I might need a scream break.
Lincoln Park, 5 o'clock on Sunday. All right. There you go. Big community scream. Well, first time I got married, second time. Can't keep track.
How many times have you been married?
3. Oh. 3. Went to Golden Gardens, and I built a little, in the sand, I dig a little hole there, and then we had wishes. I asked everybody to write a wish down on a thing, and then we put it, and then burn it, and then smoke went up. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I got these little hearts that were made of glass, recycled glass. Geez, I sound like a hippie. And then each one of us that was there was supposed to take the little red heart, and then I forget what we did with that. But anyway, you take that and you threw that out into the water.
I like it.
There's a lot of burning stuff and stuff going up and then throwing that stuff out. And we had a Buddhist minister marry us.
You are absolutely hippie.
It was fun. And he said, the only thing I remember from the whole little ceremony was ecstasy first and then the laundry.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's profound.
Enjoy yourself.
And then work together.
And then the laundry. Yeah. I guess you dirty the sheets and then clean the sheets. But it sounded better. He had a robe on and stuff.
The beads
and
bald
everything. Head,
yeah,
and the beads, and he smelled like patchouli. All right, here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, got a couple big issues out there. Let's start with one up in Mill Creek first. A collision on 164th Street at 3rd Avenue has the westbound lanes blocked. This is just west of 527, and drivers, you want to avoid 164th because it's backed up heavily in both directions. In fact, eastbound is backed up almost coming off I-5. Here in South Lake Union, a 3-car collision, including one rollover, is blocking Fairview Avenue at Republican, which is 1 block south of Mercer. South 5 heading into Seattle is thick at Lake City Way down to I-90, about a half hour from Linwood to Seattle. North 5 scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a half hour from bridge to bridge. Our lake bridges are looking great, though, and westbound 520 jams up there in the Arboretum. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. We are now looking at heavy volumes from about Inner Urban Avenue down to South 200th, but then that's it. Then you're going to clear clear out. Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes. A little crowding in South Tacoma, but now we've got a 5 to 6 mile backup between JBLM and DuPont, and a little more slowing as you head into Olympia. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Visit Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st. Subaru of Puyallup.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself, I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. I'm coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Neil Sedaka wrote and sang dozens of hits of the 1960s and 70s, including this song, a lament to his high school sweetheart, Carole King.
Darling, there will never be another.
Neil Sedaka's family says that they're devastated by his sudden passing today. The Brooklyn-born native had hits including Breaking Up Is Hard to Do and Calendar Girl. Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and the Captain and Tennille were among those who covered his songs. He said of songwriting,
what makes it a hit? There are various notes that go with various chords, and if the sentiment is right, it gives you that in the groin, in the heart, you get those chills.
Neil Sedaka was 86. Former President Bill Clinton has testified that he did nothing wrong as he faces questions today from congressional lawmakers about his relationship with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Torian Small also reports.
In a prepared opening statement, Clinton said, as someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not sweetheart deals.
U.S. and Iranian mediators are set for another round of negotiations over the country's nuclear program next week. Now, CBS's Charlie D'Agata has more on this and the urge to get American citizens out of the region.
The U.S. Embassy here in Israel, they issued a security alert calling for the departure of non-emergency U.S. government personnel and their family members to leave the country, kind of granting that green light due to safety risks.
A federal judge has extended his order protecting refugees in Minnesota who are lawfully in the U.S. from being arrested and deported. President Trump has told the federal government to immediately stop using technology from the artificial intelligence company Anthropic. CBS's Linda Kenyon with the latest.
The president posted on social media, quote, "We don't need it, we don't want it, and will not do business with them again," unquote. He was responding after the AI startup rejected the Pentagon's demands that it agree to an unconditional military use of an AI model known as Claude. Anthropic said it did not want its technology to be used for mass surveillance of U.S. citizens or used in fully autonomous weapon systems.
Scouting America has agreed to make changes to keep the U.S. military support. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
This includes reviewing and replacing politicized, divisive, and discriminatory language throughout the organization, programs, and all publications. No more DEI, zero.
This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, Sound Transit looks to crack down on copper wire thefts. We'll have that after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
You know, for the most part, it's Friday light out there, but we do have our issues. For instance, up in Mill Creek, a collision on 164th Street at 3rd Avenue continues to block the westbound lane. So this is just west of 527. 164th is pretty much bumper to bumper in both directions. In fact, eastbound, you're backed up all the way to I-5. Here in South Lake Union, we've got a 3-car collision, one rollover, blocking Fairview Avenue northbound, right at Republican, which is about a block south of Mercer. You want to avoid this area as all surface streets around the Amazon campus right now are jammed up. South 5 heading into Seattle, you're solid in the U District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle taking about 25 to 30 minutes. North 5 is now scattered, approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. 35 minutes to get through downtown. Bellevue to Renton, Basin, we're pushing a half hour. South 405 is packed near Northeast 8th and Bellevue through Factoria, and then you're going to thin out fairly quickly. North 405 slows from South Center through the Renton S curves. And if you're traveling through Bothell, northbound 405 at Northeast 95th, there's a large pothole in that left general purpose lane. If you're heading that way, get out of that lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello, the CEO of Sound Transit. Today responded to that rise in copper theft affecting light rail service. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports Dow Constantine is asking prosecutors to get tougher.
A major line down for 3 hours on the day of the Seahawks Super Bowl victory parade, and just last week, another line down, all because of copper thieves. Constantine told the Sound Transit Board of Directors, enough is enough.
I've scheduled a meeting with the King County Prosecutor's Office. The prosecutor has been working over the course of more than a year on this issue, and we will be discussing the challenges and how we can continue to partner together.
A proposed bill in Olympia would require scrapyards to upload photos of any copper wire they buy into a searchable database. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The head of a major construction supplier apologizes after backing Washington's Millionaire tax. H.D. Fowler chairman Jed Fowler testified in Olympia earlier this month that he and people like him should pay that tax.
Investing in our communities is fundamentally pro-business.
Now, in a letter to customers, Fowler is apologizing for damaging their trust by being disconnected from their concerns. He is resigning as board chair but will stay on as president. As for the income tax, it cleared a key House committee this morning on a 9-6 vote. Republican Representative Ed Orcutt warns it will not work.
There's no combination of taxes that can keep up with a legislature that continually overspends its revenue.
And in the end, the committee struck down a proposal to put that tax before voters. A full House vote could come next week. Amazon, no longer Seattle's top employer. The Times reports the University of Washington now holds that title. More than 50,000 employees in the city. Amazon's headcount in Seattle recently fell below 50,000 following a wave of layoffs. Company's also shifting its resources to the east side, where it has more than 14,000 workers in Bellevue. And an Auburn couple says it needs your help to find their goats.
They're really friendly. I mean, jump on your chest and lick your mouth. Level friendly goats. They're like little dogs.
That is Brianna Ray. She tells Jake and Spike somebody stole 10-month-olds Bushel and Bee, along with tools and copper pipes. Call Auburn PD if you have any information. So your forecast now for the weekend looking very nice. Just some clouds right now, some increasing sunshine and highs in the low 50s for tomorrow and Sunday. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
I hope something positive.
Hi, John. This is Chris in Seabeck. This is just like Cle Elum, except the big buildings and the indoor plumbing. But anyway, we like gathering around the old radio set and listen to you talk about Buc-ee's, because I got a cousin named Bucky, and he always thinks you and Joe are talking about him. You know, when Joe gets to singing Buc-ee's. So keep up the good work, and thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, we went all over the place on that one. Huh? That's cool. All right, it's much like the show. All right, here we go. We got a lot. Wow, we got a special guest on this show. Oh my! It's a double shot of Troublemaker.
Troublemaker, yeah, that's your middle name. Oh, I know you know
on the right,
that you're stuck in my
Andrea Suarez, Jonathan Cho with flip-flops. Wow. Surrounded by you guys.
Those are slides.
Slides.
Yeah.
Technically. Oh, I'm sorry. The kids. A flip-flop would be if it was separating your big toe from your other toe. That's right. Okay, back to the music. All right, kiddies. There is much to dine on here. Andrea Suarez from WeHeart Seattle, somebody that's been on the ground for years and years and years, basically going around to a homeless person addicted to drugs and alcohol and saying, do you want help? We will help you. Do you want to get out of this tent? Do you want to get out of this life? We will help you. Come with us. We will get you treatment. We will get you away from this. Do you want help? That is your basic, that's your elevator speech for years and years and years. And when you're not doing that, you're picking up garbage.
They go hand in hand. The trash builds the trust, and then we triage people to services with a focus on treatment first.
Jonathan Cho, to the left of me, but certainly to the right of probably Andrea and myself, is the guy that every politician never wants to see. It's not because he's got open-toed shoes. It's because, well, one, he looks like the Unabomber today. And two, Cho's always like, you said this, you're not doing that. Why are you not doing it? When Katie Wilson first got elected and Cho shows up, they pushed him out of the way. Cho's like, I have a right to be here. I'm part of the press. In fact, you're right now involved in a lawsuit with Ari Hoffman and Brandy Cruz because the Democrats in Olympia don't want you there asking questions. Because you're not a legitimate journalist. You work for, what, the Discovery Institute? So they don't think of you as a journalist. So they don't want you to ask questions, Joe.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm a political independent for the record, and I also contribute to Newsmax as the Seattle Bureau reporter and Turning Point USA as an investigative reporter there. So I wear a lot of different caps.
Yes. Sometimes backwards, sometimes forward. But more importantly, here's the way I sort of see your stuff. You're the guy that goes, okay, the mainstream, whatever direction that the news media is taking, the basic narrative, and so often in the state of Washington, it's like they're just transcribing the press release. So you look at it and you go, okay, well, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. You hold somebody accountable for what they said. You said this, but the actions are doing this. So why is that, right? But often they're just pushing you out of the way. They don't want to hear from you. You're making them, be accountable for the words.
Yeah, it's a job of what journalists are supposed to be doing. But in this city, as we know, the entire mainstream media landscape's been decimated. We barely have reporters now working in newsrooms. So we have what's called press release journalism, right? That's when, a politician sends out a sheet of paper with talking points and expects the reporters to parrot those. Well, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And if you haven't noticed, Katie Wilson really hasn't had a press conference yet after nearly 2 months in office at City Hall where the reporters can just ask questions freely. So what I have to do is show up to public events and ambush her and confront her.
Yeah.
And that's what happened recently.
Can we play a little bit of that?
Okay. We're getting to you, Andy. Hang on. Jeez, Joe. Here we go. All right. So what's happening? Is there music? Sound? Let's see. Hang on. Back it up. Let's back it up. Back it up. And let's play the music, too, or the sound or whatever else is included in this. Joe, what do you got? You're making Joe's work look bad.
Hey, Mayor Wilson, are you aware that the woman you referenced with the 3 dogs in your state of the city
We were able to identify a spot for her in a tiny house village.
is now back on the streets?
Why did you use me as an example?
She says the tiny house had mold in it.
The place was riddled in mold.
Do you know what happened there, Mayor Wilson? Can you just give us an explanation of what happened there? There was also a sweep this morning in Ballard.
There's nowhere to go. They just push us around.
You said sweeps don't work in your state of the city.
And we cannot just keep moving people from place to place and calling that progress.
So I just wanted to know how much longer you plan on sweeping or if anything is going to change from the Herald administration. Do you have any comment on that, Mayor? Thoughts?
She seems to be moving through quicksand. All right. Here's as somebody that endorsed her because I wanted to see socialism. She did run on I am not going to do what Harold's doing, right? And she was even asked about it. This was the big thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with sweeps? Are you going to sweep them out? What are you going to do? Right?
Homeless people be allowed to stay in tents in parks? Major Harold.
No.
Candidate Wilson.
This is hard for a yes or no question. I'm going to pass on this one. I can't really answer yes or no.
Okay. So she doesn't want to answer yes or no because she realizes this is really where the rubber meets the road. Because does somebody have the right to sit there in a public park? Does somebody have the right to do drugs and do a variety of other things in a public park? Bruce said no, and everybody went after him because everybody in Seattle has a tremendous amount of compassion, but not a lot of common sense. So now it looks like, Andrea Suarez from WeHeart Seattle, that Katie Wilson is following the plan of Bruce Harrell.
It's a rinse and repeat of what we've seen in the last 4 years, for sure.
Well, what else does she have? What other options would she do?
Well, based on my experience over 5 years, half the people that are in those encampments have housing. Crystal had housing. any social outreach worker will tell you people have housing or had housing. And so we have to have a new plan for the service resistant. And she needs to answer that question. Former Mayor Harold didn't have an answer either. And for argument's sake, keep people in the parks. Okay, keep people in the parks, except for no drugs in parks. And then you have to start talking about the drugs. And she didn't mention drugs once in her State of the City address, which was very disappointing.
If you want to see what it looks like, follow Jonathan's work from the Discovery Institute when he goes down to the Central District or goes to the CD, right, down Chinatown. And you've driven around in those, and you walk around down there. They know who you are. Some people hate you down there and threaten you. Other people just know who you are. And you're just like, bro, I'm just asking questions. What's going on? They moved everybody from the 3rd, from the Blade, down into Pioneer Square. And then from Pioneer Square, people complained about there. So they just pushed them down into Chinatown.
Yeah, it's called a containment zone strategy. What happened under Bruce Harrell's administration, especially towards the tail end with the big events like MLB, All-Star Game, and so on and so forth, is they wanted to keep the downtown tourist corridors clean. But the problem is all these men and women who are addicted to drugs and doing fentanyl have to go somewhere. So they ended up in Chinatown ID. They ended up in Belltown. They ended up in the deep woods. They ended up in the parks nearby. And we're seeing the same thing with Katie Wilson happening right now. There's absolutely no new strategy. And as Andrea said, it's rinse and repeat. And I'm seeing the same men and women on the streets who've been there now for several years. And I'm asking them, are you being given any type of new housing, shelter? And they're like, yeah, we're just being offered the shelter. And again, these are the congregate shelters. Mm-hmm. Let me be very clear. These are the ones where you have to go in and share a room or, an area with another person. Nobody wants to go into that. They want tiny houses. They want apartments. But the problem is now you have people who've developed an attitude of entitlement. At what point is enough enough?
Well, I got to say, just to sort of cut down the center here, you got Katie Wilson, and here is the problem that she is facing. There are people on the far left that actually will say to you with a straight face, well, that's their choice. That's their autonomy. They are living by their choices. And who are we to judge that they want to shoot up drugs and sit on the streets? So but that's part of the people that helped get her elected. Right. And then all of a sudden she realizes, holy crap, I got all these people coming in for the big soccer match and everything. I got to do something about this. Then she has to turn to funding. Where are you going to get the funding in order to be able to get the people that are resistant? What are you going to do? We take them off the street, just stick them in a tiny house and have them die and be found 3 or 4 days later. So she doesn't have the funding on the right. She doesn't have the support from the people on the left who say, well, you can live this way if you want to live this way. And who are we to determine where you crap, right? So she's stuck.
She is stuck.
Because you haven't built an alliance one way or the other on this. So now she's right down the middle and just allowing the thing to continue in the direction it was going previously.
Yeah, the open air use of fentanyl and methamphetamines in our parks and shared spaces is out of control, and it is dangerous for people who live here year round. And yes, it's great to use an event to provide some extra care, but I don't know how you're going to do it unless you make crime illegal again and actually enforce the open air use and the loitering laws that we have in place.
Are you following Reset in San Francisco?
Yes, I am, and I love that program.
Yes.
100%. The sheriffs are in charge of the diversion program, as it should be.
That's going to work, right?
Yes, it will.
Mean, I can't poke any holes in it.
So what Joe's talking about is no more, well, we're going to stay here. It's you have a choice. You either go get treatment or you go to jail. Mm-hmm. Very similar thing they did in Marysville. Did that work in Marysville, Joe? Do you happen to know?
It is definitely going in the right direction. But the problem here in Seattle is that we have City Attorney Erica Evans, who campaigned on refusing to prosecute for open-air drug use, laws that are already on the books, by the way, or prosecute for illegal camping. So that's the problem. And guess what? Word gets out on the street. The homeless drug addicts watch the news. They listen to your show, John, and they know that Seattle, once again, is Freatle, lawless, and a very permissive city. So I'm now talking to people who have recently moved here from South King County, from Auburn, from Kent, from Renton, also from places like Everett and Tacoma.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, well, you predicted that 3 or 4 months ago. You said when they cut down in Burien, they're going to come in. They're coming in from Auburn, wherever. Because listen, if you you're going to follow incentives. The incentive is you can come to Seattle, you can do whatever you want. Nobody's going to hassle you. And the drugs are really cheap and they're very available. And the cops aren't going to bother. You can do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. So this problem will get bigger and bigger. I also predicted before the New Year's, I said the people from San Francisco that don't want those two choices. You're going to have three choices. Go to jail, go to treatment, or go to Seattle. You'll see, and Oregon also cut back on their funding for homelessness. So it's all going to be collecting here in Seattle. What advice do you have, both of you, since you sort of have a completely different political point of view than Katie Wilson? What would you tell her to do if she were ever to call you guys by mistake?
Well, first and foremost, follow what San Francisco is doing with the reset program. 1, 2, champion a similar proposition that San Francisco did a few years ago called Prop F, which required people to pass a urinary analysis for illegal substances to come into the city and get services. That stops the inflow.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
I asked her about that, and she thought there was an invasion of privacy. All right.
No.
So that you're saying look to what may be working and follow that, because what you have now is not working.
Yep.
I want to quickly say we all want Mayor Wilson to succeed at the end of the day, because if she does well, the city does well. But my advice to her simply is start talking to all sides, because she's only talking to one right now, and we have ideas, we have solutions, and clearly the current plan is not working. We want to help.
Do you think you would do better approaching her? I mean, I know that you're trying to be respectful, but as soon as you go up on her, she's immediately, people try to get in front of you, Joe, and try to stop you.
You asked for a meeting, didn't you?
Yeah, answer my emails. It's that simple. I gave her more than 24 hours to respond before my latest story exposing what happened with Crystal and the 3 dogs. And I said, please, can you just explain what happened? Crystal claims that there was mold in this tiny house you placed her in. She says the city didn't give any alternatives. I asked a few questions, no response. That's why I have to go ambush her. It's the only way. It's the only way to hold these elected officials accountable.
But here you are. You're the mayor, right? So somebody in your communications department says, okay, here's a story about this woman, Crystal. She's got 3 kids. We put her in a tiny house. Things are good. She's not. Is she going down there and checking out the tiny house?
She should talk to people who know what's going on the ground instead of coming in as the mayor and phoning a friend and getting her a tiny house in front of many other people that were probably in line for that.
Okay.
What if we could help set up like a round table?
Yes, please.
I'm down. I'm down. If Mayor Wilson's listening, I want to sit down with her. Let's have a round table. Bring your team, I'll bring my team, and let's talk.
And understanding that everyone there at that table wants the same thing. Right. You have to disregard the people that are coming from the position that this is your choice to live this way, that's your autonomy, and that your true self is to live in squalor and shoot drugs. I don't think those people deserve to be at the table, because let's face it, that's not compassion, right? Just quickly, how's Sound Transit enjoying the homeless situation?
What about it? I mean, they're not running because there's no wires in place.
Yeah. Copper wire.
So how do they steal the stuff, and what do they end up doing with it?
They steal it. They take it nearby a metal recycle center, and they strip it using various tools and devices and turn it in. We also found a boneyard of about, 50 propane tanks where the brass fittings were all stripped out.
At least that was probably like 150.
Mm-hmm. And that's the 3rd or 4th time we found these huge basins of disposed tanks. And the Olympia had an opportunity to champion legislation to hold the metal scrapper buyers accountable, and they didn't. And that's really where we have to go with all of this, is upstream, holding people more accountable.
Well, yeah, until you stop that, you're still going to be able to continue to get cash, then go back and cash it in for drugs. Well, so what's your next story, Joe? What do you got?
I'll be following Andrea, and this weekend she'll be cleaning up a church in South Seattle where there's a massive encampment. And I think there's going to be a positive outcome. So that's a quick little preview here.
Wow.
Call to action tomorrow, 10 to noon, Martin Luther King Way. Look us up at WeHeartSeattle.org for the address. It's going to be the most meaningful cleanup we have ever done in 5 years, and we will see that story and outcome on Sunday.
You can follow Cho at Discovery Institute, plus you can also find him on Instagram and just about anywhere else that Find Slides Are Sold. Andrea Suarez from WeHeart Seattle. That's your call to action tomorrow. Both of you stay safe. We'll see if we can get Katie Wilson's people to sit down with you, and you got good ideas, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, good. Thank you, Cho.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. Here comes Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
All right, the KIRO Newsradio app has the update. Let's update you in Mill Creek where we have good news. We cleared that collision on 164th near 3rd Avenue. So those earlier backups have pretty much all quickly cleared out at this point. In South Lake Union, though, just down the street from us, we're still dealing with a 3-car collision, one rollover, blocking Fairview Avenue northbound at Republican, which is 1 block south of Mercer. Looks like they're getting close, though, to clearing this out of the way. Meanwhile, though, avoid this area because most all surface streets around that Amazon campus down there are all jammed up. South 5 heading into Seattle, you're packed in the U District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, give yourself 25 minutes. North 5, scattered backups from the Michigan Curve now across the Ship Canal Bridge. 40 minutes to make your way through downtown. Our lake bridges are all clear right now. Westbound 520, you will jam up at Montlake over to I-5. That's because of the Revive I-5 backup. Seattle to Everett, 40 minutes once you get over that Ship Canal Bridge. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. You're slow through Kirkland, and then you're going to clear out till you get into Bothell, where there's a little more slowing. Nothing real heavy here. And once you get into Everett, North 5, we're looking at scattered slowing from Lowell Road up to 529. Everett to Marysville, just under a 20-minute commute. Text the app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package. For the best for your family, choose locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs. And for eggs with 3 times the omega-3, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We are now hearing directly from State Representative Joe Fitzgibbon after he admitted to being drunk on the job. The House Majority Leader has apologized and spoke today to KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson.
Have you had a drink on the job before?
No, this was something that I regret very seriously, and learned the lesson the hardest way possible.
The state Republican Party is calling on him to resign immediately. But as KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports, another state lawmaker claims there's a culture of drinking at the state capitol.
Representative Michelle Valdez made her claims on Seattle Red 770 AM. To kill time between committee meetings, roll calls, and during long nights, many lawmakers on both sides of the aisle tie one on in their offices, then cast their votes.
Unfortunately, I think some people may use alcohol as a escape for all the stress.
House Majority Leader Joe Fitzgibbon apologized for drinking before Wednesday's committee meeting, saying he's disappointed in himself. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Former President Bill Clinton tells members of the House Oversight Committee he did nothing wrong and saw no signs of Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse. Washington Democrat Emily Randall is a member of that committee.
President Clinton, in his opening statement, said that America was built on the idea that no person is above the law, even presidents, especially presidents. And the Democratic members of the Oversight Committee feel the same.
Today's closed-door deposition marks the first time a former president has been compelled to testify to Congress. King County jury today awarded $24 million to the family of a Colorado man who died after receiving stem cell injections at a Seattle clinic.
62-year-old Michael Trujillo died in April of 2019 after having spinal injections at Seattle Stem Cell Center. His family sued for wrongful death, claiming the procedure was done without imaging guidance. After the verdict was announced, jurors lined up to give his widow, Carmen, hugs.
It was just one big celebration. I mean, we said how much we love each other.
In 2022, then State Attorney General Bob Ferguson sued the company and got it barred from marketing or receiving payments for unproven stem cell treatments. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The owner of Seattle Stem Cell Center tells us she plans to appeal. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:33. We check in with Nate Connors.
Thank you, Aaron. We have an unfortunate fatality investigation now on State Route 3 north of Shelton. So State Route 3 closed in both directions between East Pickering Road and East Anthony Road near milepost 11. WashDOT en route for traffic control, but right now you probably want to avoid this area. South Lake Union, we cleared our collision at Fairview and Republican, but it has left us with traffic jams on all of those surface streets south of Mercer throughout the entire Amazon campus area. South 5 into Seattle is heavy from the U District to I-90, nothing serious. Linwood to Seattle at 25 minutes. North 5, though, it is scattered from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 40 minutes to commute through downtown on northbound I-5. Our lake bridges remain all clear this afternoon. Westbound 520 eventually jams up at Montlake over to I-5. Bellevue to Renton, just 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia, we've gone up to an hour, 5 minutes. So we're slow in South Tacoma. You've got about a 6-mile backup between JBLM and DuPont. That's a pretty thick backup. And then more slowing between Lacey and Olympia. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to the forecast. Some clouds tonight and increasing sunshine for the weekend. Highs will be in the low to mid-50s the next few days. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News starting at 4. When you need to stay plugged in and connected, they've got you. Live breaking news so you know what's happening now. Investigations and in-depth coverage to get you answers. Weather on the way to help you prepare. Bringing the day's biggest stories into focus so you know more. Watch KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 only on KIRO 7 TV.
Thank you, Joseph. Well said, well read. And now for the guy who's named Bucky, also named after a place you could take your car. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Not to be confused with a guy also named Bucky.
Bucky and Seaback.
That's right. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. 16 locations, been around for 50 years. That's Bucky's Auto Service Centers. All right, there's a company that has some advanced ability to be able to survey any person anywhere in the world. Also has the ability, if the Department of Defense, also known as Department of War, wanted to use some of this technology in order to have drones kill people. Well, the CEO of Anthropic has spoken out, and this has been going on for about, I would say, publicly
2 weeks.
2 weeks now, right? So yet the federal government says, listen, we want to be able to use this stuff to be able, if we want to look at everybody, we want to see who everybody's moving around. Plus, we also want to use your technology to be able to get in there with drones and kill somebody if we need to. And they think that it was used during the Venezuela.
Yeah, so that's what was the red flag to Anthropic, was whatever they did in Venezuela.
Right. So I think the CEO at that point was like, wait a minute, did you use our stuff to do things that we don't agree with?
Right.
Right. And then here is your CEO.
You said AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years.
Yes,
that's shocking.
That is the future we could see if we don't become aware of this problem now.
Half of all entry-level white-collar jobs.
Well, if we look at entry-level consultants, lawyers, financial professionals, many of kind of the white-collar service industries, a lot of what they do, AI models are already quite good at. And
okay, so he's basically laying out a discussion that people have been having a lot about AI. But in this case, Anthropic has told the Department of Defense, Department of War, whatever you like, you can't use our stuff to do that. Then the White House pushes back and tries to use, like, it's the 1955 or 1950 War Act, which is basically, we are allowed to come in and tell you you're not allowed to make Jeeps anymore. You can't make station wagons. You got to make Jeeps. You got to make bombs instead of this or that. Because it's state of emergency. We can take over your company if we need be. That doesn't work in this case. So Anthropic and the United States government have gone separate ways. But then, kind of as a final screw you, they say to Anthropic, okay, you know what? We're going to put you under this umbrella of somebody that we can't trust. So anybody that's working with you will be in the bucket of, well, we're not so sure that we can trust anything coming from you.
So no Anthropic on any government hardware
or
of any
even
kind.
stuff that's people that are working with Anthropic,
right.
Which is like you put the big squeeze on them. So then other companies like, let's see, Sam Altman was asked whether or not he would negotiate with the Department of Defense, integrating open AI models into classified systems similar to the safeguards in the Wall Street Journal. He said, yeah, we'll work with them to a point. But this this now is we're facing the next big hurdle, which is AI has the ability to do all the things that people seem to be afraid of, which is killing people without another human being directly involved, and surveying everybody at any time, know everything about you, all data, where you move, where you travel, who you talk to, all your emails, everything. And at a certain point, the United States government needs to come in and take a good hard look at the Fourth Amendment and realize in the Constitution when it comes to your protection of your privacy. But every one of these AI companies seems to be able to, hey, we'd love to be able to get some of those federal dollars, so we'll work with you whichever direction you want to go.
Well, and the CEO, and we played this audio, I think, yesterday, but he did a good job of articulating the problem because according to the Fourth Amendment, if you're in a public place, you don't have a right to privacy. So they can have cameras up anywhere, and they can record everything that you're doing, right, and presumably have microphones that can pick up what you're saying. But nobody can parse through all that information. It's just too much. It's not good. It's not useful to anybody. But AI can. So they can know everybody that's in the park and exactly what they're talking about, exactly where they came from, exactly where they're going, everything that's on their phone at one time. So that that's why he had these safeguards in their contracts. Just, hey, you can't use it to spy on Americans.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is there almost needs to be kind of an AI amendment to the Constitution. Like, hey, how does the Fourth Amendment stay the Fourth Amendment, but also take into consideration technology that the Founding Fathers never could have dreamed of?
You could, it's the 36,000-foot view is for every discovery, for every advancement, there is a trade-off. To get from point A to point B at 60 miles an hour, you're in a car. That's the benefit. You're also could go through the windshield. This is prior to seatbelts at 60 miles an hour. Then you put a seatbelt in. Well, I don't want to wear a seatbelt. Well, okay. We're going to make it a law because if you want federal dollars, you got to have a seatbelt. But there's always a trade-off on this stuff. So what's the advantage? You'd say, well, if we had open AI and it was everywhere, deployed everywhere, you can see, then Savannah Guthrie's mother would probably have been found already. We would know where child sex trafficking is happening without having to look at 3 million pieces of data that's being released by the federal government in the Epstein trial. There's the trade-off, right? So are you okay with the fact that everybody can be tracked all the time and all data would be known all the time? If you say, well, I don't care because I'm not doing anything wrong. Okay. But then who determines what's right and what's wrong?
No, I think this is the debate of the century. I mean, this is going to affect everybody for the rest of history.
When they were gathering up, when I think was it Clapper? When Clapper lied to the congressional hearing that, oh no, we're not saving anybody's data, we're not listening in, we don't have everybody's phone calls. Or was Brennan or Clapper? I can't remember which one of them lied. And you find out later on, oh yes, they were. But the thing was, with so much data, there was nothing they could do with it. It was just this gigantic collection of all these phone numbers. But now AI will take it all and within instantaneously tell you every single call, how long they lasted for, all the stuff. So now they just have a better organization with it. Well, and now here we are at a hinge point of what would the United States do with this new technology.
And the interesting thing about the White House, Trump's reaction to this Anthropic thing, because if they said, okay, well, we don't want to use your AI because that's your safeguard, it doesn't make sense for us. You can keep keep your $500 billion and we'll walk away. You've got 4 other AI companies. But their reaction to it has been so unhinged. I mean, Trump went on a 3-page rant about these woke far left companies. They're trying to make America weak, and all the Department of Defense guys says, oh, they're lying. And so what they must have this software already so embedded in their system that getting it out of there is a real big deal, because otherwise, who cares? There's other AI companies. If you're not willing to meet your demands, and then don't give them your money.
This is a dark day in the history of American AI. The message sent to business communities and the countries around the world could not be worse, says Dean Ball, a former Trump administrator and AI advisor who is now the senior fellow at the Foundation of American Innovation, a center-right think tank. He had called for the administration not to use the supply chain risk designation. That's part of the big problem, the supply chain risk. So it's anybody that's done anything to help build Anthropic would be considered part of the risk.
They're like an enemy of the state, that company now.
Yes.
Which is, why would you do that? There's one part of the story, a big part that we don't know about yet. And
how's that rabbit hole smell?
Oh, I know where I'm going to be tonight.
Here goes. Hold on. Somebody actually requested
please,
this. Hang on.
Please. That's for Jake. For Jake.
Here we go. Ready? Before.
Why, it's good old reliable Nathan
with the traffic.
North of Shelton, we have a fatality investigation this afternoon on State Route 3. So it's got both directions closed between East Pickering Road and East Anthony Road. That's near milepost 11. So you're going to want to avoid this route this afternoon if you can. South Lake Union, we've got a big mess just south of Mercer Street, basically through the Amazon campus area due to an earlier collision. That cleared about 25 minutes ago. But during that blockage on Fairview Avenue, everyone diverted to all the other surface streets, and we're still jam-packed on all those streets. South 5 heading into Seattle starts to slow near Lake City Way down to I-90, 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. North 5, we're starting to shrink a little bit. Your backup starts at the West Seattle Bridge as opposed to the Michigan Curve, and that continues across the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes still to commute through downtown. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. South 405 is thick from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Coal Creek Parkway. Seattle to Federal Way, just a 25-minute commute. Renton to Puyallup, we're down to a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia, we're struggling an hour, 5 minutes with a 6-mile backup between JBL and DuPont, starting near Gravelly Lake Drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to amazonbusiness.com for support.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9. Restrictions apply.
For nearly 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. Save up to $2,000 on new heating and cooling systems. Free consultation at homecomfortalliance.com. For comfort, call the comfort people. homecomfortalliance.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
It is the John Curley Show, Makosu Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. Thanks to everybody listening. And first time, was the guy a millennial? Gen Z, Gen X? What are got the young kids in here?
That was Jake.
We need young people that are losing their hair.
Jake in Mount Vernon, who requested the Nathan song.
Oh, there you are.
Thank you, Jake.
He's one of our token millennial listeners, and he said, we're not all Q-tips.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but apparently that's an insult.
I know what you mean, Jake.
Thank you, Nate.
Okay, good.
You want some text?
Yeah, sure. Let's knock them out before.
We'll talk about these are related to our conversation on AI. Curtis in Auburn says, so are we thinking the government has Anthropic tied to the discombobulator system that Trump was touting about? Yes, is the answer to that question.
And Joe's just basing that on
the fact that that's the only thing we know. There's some device that they used that was apparently ridiculously successful, so successful that not one shot was fired by the Americans.
There was a device that was being used in Cuba that was causing all sorts of and sort of additional headaches, woozy, people are fainting. It was some type of like a microwave kind of thing, energy wave.
There was a guy, the Sean Ryan podcast, he just interviewed somebody that it gives you what they call Havana syndrome afterwards.
So that's that they think that's what the discombobulator was. Now, was there some of Anthropic's AI stuff in there? We don't know, but apparently Joe does. Yes.
Let's see. Jim and Everett says, did anybody ask Crooked Hillary if she was responsible for Bill not having sex with another woman other than Monica Lewinsky? I don't think she got asked that question. Jeff in Port.
Have you stopped beating your wife lately? Question.
Let's see. Doug in Mount Vernon says, breaking news, Donald Trump will not be releasing the UFO files because the Epstein files had evidence that Jeffrey Epstein dealing with Jabba the Hutt to traffic Orion sex slaves. That's a Star Wars joke.
The headline just came in. Bill Clinton tells Epstein committee it depends on what the definition of child trafficking is.
Wayne in Milton says, how can anybody trust Bill Clinton when he said that he didn't have relations with Monica Lewinsky?
Well, again, what is the definition of this is?
Rachel in the 425, she says, well, since this look over here tactic regarding aliens isn't distracting everyone from the Epstein files, it looks like we're heading to World War III because other countries are starting to remove their top officials out of Iran. That's true. If another world war isn't enough to distract people from the files, I don't know what cards Trump has left to play. Actually, and she adds this at the end, Nancy Guthrie being delivered back home by aliens just might be enough of a distraction.
Okay, good Lord. Well, I'm glad we've stirred everybody's imagination.
Yes.
And their thumbs and index fingers to text us. 1-888-973-5476. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Will the Washington State Supreme Court take a look at this income tax, and will they continue to use the Washington State Constitution, or will they find some little pocket of deception to tax all of us?
That's a tease.
Or only the millionaires. We should probably get a judge in here. Let's
great
do that.
idea.
We'll be right back. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate on.
We have an unfortunate fatality investigation this afternoon. It is north of Shelton at near milepost 11. State Route 3 closed in both directions near milepost 11, and you'll want to avoid this route if you can. No estimated time when they're going to reopen this. Here in South Lake Union, we are improving, but we still have big backups on many of our surface streets between Mercer and Denny Way due to an earlier collision that shut down Fairview Avenue for a bit, and during that closure, everyone was seeking other alternate routes to get around that main arterial. South 5 heading into Seattle, heavy from the U District, I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes max. North 5, scattered backups between the West Seattle Bridge and the Ship Canal Bridge, 35 minutes from bridge to bridge. Bellevue to Renton is just a 25-minute drive, so South 405 is still thick about Southeast 8th there in Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you're going to thin out fairly quickly. Seattle to Federal Way, we're down to 25 minutes, not much in your way here. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways, a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia is one of our bigger struggles this afternoon. About an hour and 5 minutes with a 6-mile backup between JBLM and DuPont starting near Gravely Lake Drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years? Like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models. Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
It's a great time to visit Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event for extra savings through March 31st. Visit your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. U.S. and Iranian officials are set to meet again next week as tensions grow over a possible U.S. strike on Tehran. President Trump wants Iran to eliminate its nuclear weapons program. CBS's Aaron Navarro with the latest.
Oman's foreign minister, who has been the key mediator between the U.S. and Iran during these indirect talks, he met with Vice President J.D. Vance in D.C. today, said that Iran has agreed to give up enrichment of uranium and that currently held nuclear fuel would be blended into oil. Still, despite that being conveyed to Vice President Vance, according to Oman's foreign minister, President Trump says he's still not happy with where Iran is in the negotiations.
The U.S. has cleared some diplomatic staff to leave Israel amid tensions with Iran. President Trump has told the U.S. government to immediately stop using Anthropic's technology. Frank Kendall, who was Secretary of the Air Force during the Biden administration, tells CBS's Major Garrett.
The government wants to have language or will accept language that says that the software can't be used for any unlawful use, which should be enough. Anthropic wants more than that, and this is a change, I think, to their current situation.
The Pentagon wanted unconditional use of Anthropic's Claude AI models. President Trump has set his sights on Cuba a month after imposing a fuel blockade on the communist-led island.
The Cuban government is talking with us, and they're in a big deal of trouble, as you know. They have no money, they have no anything right now, but they're talking with us, and maybe we'll have a friendly takeover of Cuba.
Los Angeles School Superintendent Alberto Carvalho is being put on paid leave while he is part of a federal investigation. The move comes 2 days after the FBI served search warrants at his home and the district's headquarters, but no details yet provided about the investigation. Former President Bill Clinton says he did nothing wrong with Jeffrey Epstein as he faced grilling over their relationship for several hours today in front of the House Oversight Committee. More from CBS's Nicole Killian.
Lawmakers raise questions about photos of Clinton in a hot tub next to an unidentified woman. Sources tell CBS News the former president said he did not know her, and when asked if they had sex, he said no. The recently released Epstein files also revealed a handwritten note from Clinton to Epstein on his 50th birthday, and flight logs that show the former president traveled on Epstein's plane many times, although he previously said it was for philanthropic work.
Singer-songwriter Neil Sedaka has died. His hits included
Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in this.
Among those covering his work were Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and the Captain and Tennille. Neil Sedaka's family says he died today at age 86. This is CBS.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Coming up, Sound Transit addresses a rise in copper theft. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Let's start you with our unfortunate fatality investigation this afternoon. It's just north of Shelton and milepost 11. Both directions of State Route 3 are closed near East Pickering Road, and you're going to want to avoid this route if you can. It's no estimated time to reopen. Here in Seattle, South 5, you're packed in the U District. I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes max. North 5, we've got scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, 35 minutes to make it through downtown. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, less than 20 minutes on both routes. You're doing good. Westbound 520 eventually jams up at the Arboretum to I-5. Westbound 90, you're crowded at about mid-span over to I-5, but you're close to freeway speeds here. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. South 405, you're thick at Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Coal Creek Parkway. And then from there, it's still crowded all the way down to the Renton Landing. Seattle to Federal Way, we pretty much cleared out. Renton to Puyallup, same thing. We pretty much cleared out on the Valley Freeway. It'll take you a half hour from north to south. And Tacoma to Olympia, at this point, is our biggest struggle. A little over an hour 5 minutes, and you are dealing with a 6-mile solid backup between JBLM and DuPont. As far as I can tell, this is just volume. This backup starts near Gravely Lake Drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The head of Sound Transit is asking King County prosecutors to crack down on copper thieves after a series of recent thefts. CEO Dow Constantine.
I've scheduled a meeting with the King County Prosecutor's Office. The prosecutor has been working over the course of more than a year on this issue, and we will be discussing the challenges and how we can continue to partner together.
Copper theft shut down one major line for 3 hours on the day of the Seahawks Super Bowl victory parade. Then just last week, another line went dark for the same reason. Now, state lawmakers are also responding. A bill in Olympia would require scrap yards to upload photos of any copper wire they buy into a statewide database. Local business owner is apologizing for testifying in favor of the Millionaire tax.
Construction supply company H.D. Fowler chairman Jed Fowler is stepping down as chair after his testimony to state senators this month that investing in communities is pro-business.
It's better to grow the pie than to fight about slicing it. I'm willing to pay this tax. I should pay this tax. Others like me should pay this tax.
In a letter to customers obtained by Seattle Red, Fowler apologized for being, quote, disconnected from your challenges. He'll stay on as president, and he says he'll end all his public political advocacy and donate nearly 10% of his salary to construction industry PACs. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Earlier today, the House Finance Committee passed the Millionaire's tax, despite this warning from Representative Republican Cindy Jacobson.
Capital flight is not a myth. People who make this kind of money are able to leave. They often have domiciles in other states that they can just change their address to.
Now, the committee made one change to the bill, removing sales tax for more items like diapers. The full House could vote on the bill next week. Fresh off an Olympic gold win, Seattle Torrent team captain Hillary Knight is nursing an injury now. KIRO News Radio's Gary Horker.
The Torrent says she sustained a lower body injury during the Olympic Games. There is no word yet on when she'll be back on the ice.
And the Torrent are set to play tonight at Climate Pledge Arena in front of a sold-out crowd. The game against the Toronto Scepters features 15 total Olympians. Your weather updates. We are seeing some clouds tonight, increasing sunshine for tomorrow and again on Sunday. Highs will be in the low 50s. Right now, 51 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Well, the lawsuits keep piling on to force the Seahawks to stay in Seattle.
Today, a lawyer who is also a season ticket holder filed are you ready for this, $1 billion lawsuit against Ken Behring. At the same time, business owners who benefit from football are suing as well. KIRO's Essex Porter has the story.
The Seahawks sold about 55,000 season tickets last year, including 6 to Federal Way lawyer David Larson. Larson believes season ticket holders have a special contractual relationship with the team.
Because we have a contract, a direct contract with the Seahawks, that they will provide us in-person live football entertainment, and they're not doing that.
Wow, look at that. That's a blast from the past. I mean, how's that here? I'd like to hear your voice from so long ago, Larson.
Well, it reminds me I was young at some point.
Yes, you were. You're even wiser now, although I have to question your sanity. That here you go again. You retire, then you get back in, then you retire, then you come back. You run for Washington State Supreme Court. You are defeated, and now you want to get back in there again.
Right.
Okay. That's in the 5th. That's the position you'd like to be. So there's a bunch of seats that are going to be opening up, right?
Yes, there's 5 seats that are going to be up for election this year. 2 are open seats. 2 are going to be appointed by the governor. And
right.
1, Deborah Stevens already has that seat. And
is that going to be harder than keeping the Seahawks here in Seattle?
Well, that was relatively easy. I mean, I played a small role, but I represented the season ticket holders back in the day, and I feel blessed for having some role in it. But
so we have you to thank for the Super Bowl in a way. Well, that's a reason to vote for you.
Yeah, well, it's the same kind of ethic that makes me not want to quit here.
Yeah,
because I was actually out for a walk when all that controversy was coming on with the Seahawks, and I'm walking and I'm conceptualizing this thing, and I go, no, I can't walk away from this. I did it for nothing. I didn't charge anybody anything.
Yeah.
I can't walk away from keeping the Seahawks in Seattle. Same thing here. I can't walk away from trying to be on the Supreme Court. A month ago, you and I saw each other about a month ago, and I had no intent. But as time went on, and I made a couple comments publicly about keeping the momentum, and then I realized, well, wait a minute, I only lost by 0.61%. Who else has better momentum? And I do think I can make a difference, and so that's why I'm doing it.
Judge Larson, this is going to be a very interesting moment for the Washington Supreme Court because now we know that the income tax is coming. So I'm going to read to you. This is from an email. It was from a Freedom Information request that the Washington Policy Center got. So it's April 30th, 2018. It's written to this guy, Dick Nelson. And it's from Jamie Peterson. And I'll take to the second paragraph. Peterson writes, but the most important benefit of passing a capital gains tax is on the legal side. From my perspective, the other side will challenge it as unconstitutional property tax. This will give the Supreme Court the opportunity to revisit its bad decisions in 1934 and 1951 that income is property and will make it possible, if we succeed, to enact a progressive income tax with a simple majority vote. That's Jamie Peterson, senator. So there's an email that was written from Peterson to Dick Nelson, just letting him know that they were setting this all up in 2018. If we can get the capital gains, if we get them to sort of do a Humpty Dumpty thing, they can say the word is whatever they want the word to be. Well, that gets us one step closer to busting through and being able to have an income tax, which we're not allowed to have in the state of Washington. It's in our Constitution. And they're going to use the word property. Right?
Yep.
Without getting yourself in trouble, you give me as much as you possibly can.
I think it's emblematic of, and it's at the state and the federal level, how much politics has kind of hijacked the courts. And the courts are almost expected to do the bidding of the people that get you in office. And that's just not the way the courts are supposed to run. The courts are supposed to run in a way where we're independent of everybody else. That's why judicial independence is so important. And we make decisions based on the law and the Constitution as it's written. We become kind of this constant in this political environment where everybody's got their arguments and everything else. When they're making their arguments, they can then reflect on, well, if we do this, this is going to be the result we're going to get from the courts, because the courts aren't political. They're going to decide it based on what we write in a law or write in a constitutional amendment or whatever. But if you are intent on, and I'm not saying it's what the voters get to decide this, if you're intent on getting people installed into office that'll do your bidding, and then you try to capitalize on that in the way you do things, that's a reason why our system is broken down, is because we're more about power and control than we are about duty and responsibility. And as a judge, what I would do is exercise duty and responsibility. And sometimes people that want judges to do their bidding don't necessarily like me, and because I'm not going to do anybody's bidding.
There's two parts to the work of the judge. One, I've heard Judge Roberts, Supreme Court Justice, say, write better laws, use better words, and then it's not going to be coming before us. When Obamacare was used and the word state was in there, Roberts had to make a decision as to whether or not it's a tax, not a tax. I mean, it got really messy. And he said to the lawmakers, if you do a better job and not leave it to the discretion of the court or discretion of somebody else, choose your words very carefully, or we're going to have a lot of work in front of us. But it's the words themselves that that get examined and get dissected. So in this case, the word will be, as when it came to the capital gains tax, that was an excise tax. They decided it wasn't income, even though the IRS sees capital gains as income. The Washington Supreme Court in a 7-2 ruling said, no, it's an excise tax. An excise tax is placed on specific goods and services, like, for instance, the gas and cigarettes and airline tickets. That's normally what an excise tax is. How would you have argued against that at that time?
Well, I think it's called common sense. But
okay,
the idea that I think I explained it when I was on your show last time, that basically if you have a piece of property, if I sell a piece of property, whatever it is, and it cost me $10,000 and I sell it for $20,000, I made $10,000 of income.
Right.
And I'm taxed on that income as capital gains. If you had a piece of property and sold it for $20,000 but only paid $5,000, you'd pay $15,000 in income or capital gains.
Yes.
So that's an excise tax is where we each pay $20,000 because that's what we sold it for. That's an excise tax.
Yeah.
But the capital gains tax we had is basically an income tax, and so they did stretch it to say it was an excise tax, but it would have been 6-3 if I would have been on the court.
But this, as we see from that email that Senator Peterson wrote, this was the first step. So they got that. In 2018, he wrote that. So 2023, the Supreme Court says, yes, it's an excise tax, or it's a tax. Capital gains is income. No. It's still, we're going to maneuver our way in there, because still in the state constitution, it says that we don't have an income tax unless it's on property. And if it's on property, it has to be equally distributed. Everybody pays the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
And there are people, and I know it might be a shock.
Okay. All right. I'm sitting down.
There are people that want to use the court as a political tool. And that's one of the reasons I know.
Hold on, Larson. Whoa, hold on.
I know it's like
the lines are lighting up.
News break. But that's why I'm running, because it shouldn't be a political tool. And I mean, you think about every time there's a decision made in a federal court, and the media's got to make sure everybody knows who appointed the particular judge.
That's the first thing they do. Yeah.
And the point is that in a lot of cases, because I'm on the inside, a lot of cases the politics is foisted on us. I mean, because you make a decision and somebody wants to twist it to meet their political end, and they'll report it in a way that makes the judiciary look bad or looks political when it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, and I know it's a shock, sometimes the judiciary is political.
I always think, explain to somebody, it's like Manor is going to play the Rangers, and you find out that the Rangers have appointed tonight's umpire. You'd be like, whoa, wait, hang on a second.
Well, that goes back to our whole appointment process. And I forwarded an op-ed I wrote back in December of 2024 for the Seattle Times on judicial selection. I think it was, at the time, it was 83% of our judiciary was picked by Jay Inslee with no check and balance. There's, other than contested elections, and of those 170 or so judges, I think there was 25 contested elections.
But you have to be consistent, Larson, because in the Constitution, the governor can appoint the judge.
Exactly, and whether something's legal doesn't necessarily make it right. And the thing is that there are solutions for that to make it more democratic. I don't think our founders anticipated, first of all, the judiciary being this large, and second of all, the things that might happen where people agree to or decide to resign in the middle of their term which then gives the governor that much power to be able to appoint somebody and make them the incumbent when they really have not been approved by the people.
Really, the philosophy of judges seems to come down to two. You might be able to add more to this. There's the originalist. You read it. Those are the words. What's the intent of the founding fathers with the Constitution? Those are the original words. And other people see it. No, it's a living, breathing document that needs to evolve and change and grow as a society.
Well, and that's where the amendment process comes in terms of how it grows and morphs over time. That's for amendments to take place. But the courts should be involved in interpreting the way it's written. And it kind of is like, if you want it different, kind of maybe it sucks to be you and maybe you need to change it. If you don't like it the way it is, then you need to change it. But otherwise, the court should not be involved in setting social policy or adapting to social policy or social trends to make the Constitution fit the times. The Constitution's amorphous enough to where it could be, where no matter what happens, the Constitution still can have the same meaning and still have the same impact on the conduct of people.
I find also, when you were running the first time, I went to the PDC, Public Disclosure Commission. You could see all the money that comes in. So you see your opponent. I'm saying, okay, there's $2,500, there's this, and there's a PAC, there's this, and eventually balloons up to $500 and some $1,000. And you think, well, if the guy's betting on that horse, why is that person giving all that money to that candidate? They obviously would like that candidate to make sure that they rule in their favor. In a way, doesn't it seem like you're buying some justice?
Yes, and it does, and I'm actually in favor of, and part of that op-ed was a system where we get the money out of judicial races and carve out, I'm not a socialist, but at the same time, there's ways we can publicly fund judicial elections. Number one, to make it possible for more people to run. And number two, to make it so that money is removed. Like right now, if you donated to me and you had a case before me, the first thing that would have to happen is the other lawyer would have to object. And so the other lawyer would have to have the temerity to say, hey, we don't trust you, Your Honor, because you got money from John Curley.
Right.
And then
I did give you money, by the way.
No, you didn't. No, I don't know those things. But then when it comes to, then I can say, nah, I'm fine. I can continue to hear the case. In my world, there would be an automatic recusal, a mandatory recusal. I could never hear your case if you gave me money. But there's ways to, with technology and everything else, to push information to voters, to do all kinds of things to help voters, and then also educate voters. Because right now, we do not do anything to educate voters how to vote for judges. And there's too many people that benefit from it being the system it is now for any change to take place.
We had that conversation off the air earlier. The problem in our system is the money, the political action committees and elections and for judges and the lobbyists.
Our guest is Judge David Larson, who's going to be running for the 5th position. I want to play this because it seems like the Washington Supreme Court will be wrestling with the word property, right? Because it's income property. And is this from Carlene Johnson asking Peterson?
Yes.
This is okay. I think it was yesterday.
Do legislators have a responsibility to propose bills that are constitutional, or is it your job to push that envelope?
So happily, the former Attorney General is not a member of the Supreme Court. And ultimately, it's 9 people on the Supreme Court who are going to make the decision about whether it's constitutional or not. Look, there was a decision in 1933 by 5-4 majority at a time when the income tax, the idea of income tax in our country was only at the age of majority, 18 years since the federal income tax had started, when there was a lot of unsettledness about the nature of an income tax. In the law up to that time, there was an idea that there were essentially 2 kinds of taxes: property taxes, taxes on having something, owning it, and excise taxes, taxes on doing something, right?
Do people not own their income, though?
No, I think it is. No, they own the property once it has become income. This is not, if you think about it.
Get ready.
I've been trying to think of good analogies to this. We sometimes have people who come into the United States, right? But they're not considered to have been in the United States because of the legal mechanism by which they got here, right? So there's a question about whether you're lawfully present. It's just an immigration idea. Maybe makes sense only to lawyers.
Look at you, Larson. You're a lawyer.
Well, Do I say no comment at this
You
point?
can say no comment.
No,
yeah. But it's property. It's income property.
Well, so this is a good moment to understand the difference between a legislative body and a judiciary.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Because the legislative body sets public policy. They have all the arguments. So it's the sausage making. Everybody gets in there and they argue and what's supposed to come out the other end are laws that we all need instead of laws that only some of us want.
Ooh, that's good.
And so at that point in time, the court then takes whatever comes out of there and if it's before the court, interprets the way it's written. The court's not involved. And then when there's already precedent involved, there's got to be good reason to overcome that precedent. Right. And so in this particular case, what I'm hearing is Senator Peterson wants the court to then become a policymaking body and agree with the House and the Senate on the policy of, income tax was different then, and now everybody loves income tax now. They hated them then. And so therefore, as a matter of policy, as a matter of trend, as a matter of fashion, the court needs to change its precedent to say, no, we didn't really mean it.
Yeah.
They didn't. These guys that are dead now didn't really mean it. We don't have a chance to ask them, but they didn't really mean it. We know better now because we're much more enlightened than they were in 1933.
Right.
So therefore, we get to decide that. Now, that doesn't mean the arguments have to be before the court. That doesn't mean I'm agreeing one way or the other because I can't say one way or the other. Otherwise, I could never hear the case.
Right.
But the reason for talking in this much detail has to do with setting forth that example, really what the legislative body and the judiciary is supposed to do and how we've blurred those lines over the years, because the income tax case hasn't come before the court. In other situations, we've blurred that line to where it's, in some cases, you're wondering whether the Supreme Court's the third house of the
case that Peterson was referring to is 1933, where I think Colton versus Chase, the Washington Supreme Court ruling that income is property. Washington is now only one of 2 states that deem income to be property. Pennsylvania is the other. So, but it's, it was so new, people couldn't figure it out. After it had been passed, it'd been 18 years, and they weren't so sure how they felt about the government taking their income.
So there's another reason why you don't lean on courts for setting public policy is because precedent can be overruled.
Right.
And so there's enough justices on a court, they can say, well, yeah, that precedent, that was then, this is now, and so there's a risk that there will. When I say risk, there is a possibility that the Supreme Court will say, yeah, that was precedent, but it is no longer precedent. We don't buy into that precedent anymore. They could say that.
Well, as this moves forward, can we continue to get some counsel from you?
I can't give counsel.
Not too much. I was just choosing a fancy word. Will you come back on again?
Oh yeah,
okay,
I'd love to be on. Really, what my goal is to have voters be a little more concerned about judicial races and understand them a little more and talk about some real issues, criminal justice and those kind of things.
Right. Okay.
So that people know that that it isn't a mystery. We have a duty and hold us to it.
Okay. We're going to hold you to coming back on again, David Larson. Thank you, Judge Larson. Thanks. Have a fabulous weekend. All right.
Appreciate it.
Spend some time with those kids. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thank you, John Curley. North of Shelton, a fatality on State Route 3 has closed State Route 3 at East Anthony Road. That's right at the auto wrecking yard. If you're familiar with the drive near milepost 11, avoid State Route 3 this afternoon if you can. Looks like WashDOT is on scene and they may start alternating traffic soon. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down to a 55-minute drive, about a 6-mile backup though between JBLM and DuPont still, starting near Gravely Lake Drive. South 5 into Seattle. Not too bad, but it does get heavy there in the U District to I-90. It's less than 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Now, North 5, we're struggling from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, 35 minutes from bridge to bridge. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle is looking real good today. Just 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes, really, on both routes. Westbound 90 is a little slow across the lake over to I-5. Westbound 90, you're clear on the lake bridge, but you jam up there at the Arboretum. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. And up in Bothell, North 405 and Northeast 195th, we're still dealing with this big pothole in that left general purpose lane. So if you're heading that way, get out of that lane. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into video only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Have you ever wondered how to use your tax return to reduce future taxes? Madrona Financial's 1040 Treasure Hunt is a free hands-on workshop that shows you how to analyze your return and uncover tax savings opportunities. This free event is happening March 3rd at 6 p.m. at Madrona's Kirkland office. RSVP at 833-673-7373 or visit madronafinancial.com/events to reserve your spot today.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. Oh!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Discover a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The House Majority Leader now speaking to media for the first time since he admitted to being drunk at a committee meeting this week. Democrat Joe Fitzgibbon has apologized and tells KIRO 7 TV he learned a hard lesson.
I'm happy that that nobody besides myself was hurt, other than the ways in which the work was impacted. I didn't get behind the wheel. Didn't make any choices that could have put others' safety at risk.
The state Republican Party is calling on Fitzgibbon to resign immediately. Meantime, another lawmaker says what the lawmaker did is not out of the norm.
Representative Michelle Valdez tells Seattle Red 770 AM many lawmakers drink alcohol waiting in their offices for a vote where alcohol is actually not allowed.
A lot of offices have alcohol in them, and we'll hang out, and a lot of people will have a drink. Some people will have more drinks.
House Majority Leader Joe Fitzgibbon apologized for drinking before Wednesday's committee meeting, saying he made a poor choice and is disappointed in himself. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Clinic has been hit with a $24 million verdict in the death of a Colorado man treated with stem cell injections. Michael Trujillo died in 2019 after having that procedure at Seattle Stem Cell Clinic. His widow, Carmen, tells us.
I don't think that there's a person that met Mike that didn't like him and think he was beautiful.
Now, the clinic closed in 2021. The former owner, Dr. Tammy Maralia, says she plans to appeal today's ruling.
We're disappointed in today's verdict, and our hearts go out to everyone. A man lost his life, even though it was many years ago. It's still very sad.
The Seattle Stem Cell Center was barred from providing unproven treatments under a 2022 lawsuit by then Attorney General Bob Ferguson. Stolen bicycle leads police in Kirkland to a trove of drugs, guns, and cash.
Kirkland police say it all started when a Seattle man reported to police his stolen bike was listed on an online marketplace with a Kirkland address. A warrant was issued, and once inside the apartment, police found the stolen bike and a lot more. Kirkland police officer Tiffany Thrombley.
They got fentanyl, methamphetamine, some cash, one rifle, and one pistol.
Officers also arrested 2 men with active felony warrants. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
And this one's brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio app. All right, we're dealing with an unfortunate fatality investigation this afternoon. It is a little north of Shelton, near milepost 11. State Route 3 at East Anthony Road. Traffic now alternates through the scene. Tacoma to Olympia, we're at 55 minutes. There's a solid 6-mile backup between JBLM through DuPont, starting closer to Thorn Lane now. After the main gate, it begins to thin out, and drivers are dealing with some serious sun glare right now on this commute. South 5 through Seattle, you're packed from the U District, more actually closer to 85th now, down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. North 5 hasn't changed in an hour. We're still pretty thick from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge, and it's going to take you 35 minutes to get through this. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, you're all clear on both routes, really. I-90 is all clear all the way between Bellevue and Seattle. Westbound 520 does jam up there at Montlake. If you're heading through Bothell this afternoon, northbound 405 and northeast 195th, a huge pothole is in that left general purpose lane. I'm pretty surprised that WashDOT hasn't closed this down yet. So get out of that lane if you're heading that direction. Bellevue to Renton at 25 minutes. South 405 still thick from mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Text the app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Cloudy tonight and dry through the weekend, mix of clouds and sunshine. Right now, 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go. Those whiskey glasses on. Here we are. Teeny's got them on already.
Yes,
She's going to spin the wheel. That's a Wilcox Family Farm recipe wheel. There goes in for all the players. Aaron has taken his name off the board.
Why?
I don't know why. I got a letter from his lawyer. It's landed on Nate. Oh, good. Nate, you got your Wilcox Family Farm recipe ready to go?
Oh, always. This one's always in my front pocket, actually. It's
what's in the back pocket?
Oh, I can't talk about that. You know that. It's just as classic. The classic scram egg. But you know what makes it more classic than classic?
What?
Are the ingredients.
Go on.
And what do we start with?
A Wilcox Family Farm eggs recipe.
Right, Wilcox Family Farm eggs. But the ingredients include the green bell pepper.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the green chili pepper, because I'm not a hot pepper fan.
No.
You throw that in there, I'll give it right back.
That's right.
But then you put it. But then you got to put in some red onions, some Spam, and some bacon.
I've seen you do this. You
Yeah.
normally bring it to the table.
Yes.
It's quite the display. You pour whiskey all over it, then you light it on fire in order to burn off the alcohol. It's really something.
Yeah, and then the rest of the whiskey, we,
That's a Wilcox Flame Farm eggs recipe right there for
The
you.
egg
Thank you for that
brulee.
one. The egg brulee. Right, exactly. It's a leather brown book sent to your house on an hourly basis. Oh. Well, goodness gracious. Okay. I got into a little bit about, I shouldn't do this, but now that we're on the Instagram, you put the word "the" in front of it to make yourself seem really old.
Oh, nice.
Like, hey, I want to watch the Johnny Carson show.
Oh, by the way, I found it. Well, I'll tell you later.
Well, anyway.
I found out what a Q-tip is.
Okay.
It's a white-haired white guy.
Oh, okay, fine. It is all my natural hair growing in, actually. So I got into it with somebody on Instagram, and they're like, because again, this talk, and I know, I keep thinking, are people sick and tired of the whole tax millionaire stuff? We just had Judge Larson on. I guess the people that are on writing to us, responding to it, but it's a big story because this will change the state of Washington. We have already heard stories about people leaving. So this one guy says to me, he says to me, what evidence do you have? And don't you understand that the rich guy, it doesn't hurt the poor guy. It's going to help the poor guy, the people that don't make as much as the rich guy. So I said, Dad, do I take the bait? Do I want to dedicate 2 hours of my life?
You will, too.
And I thought, no, I'm not going to. And the edible kicked in. And I was like, okay, here we go. You ready? So I wrote to the guy and I said, they decided they wanted to get rich. They wanted to get the rich guys to pay money when it came to the yacht tax. This is in the 1990s. U.S. federal tax. It was going to be a 10% tax on luxury tax, on luxury boats, right?
Yep.
Well, what happened was, the number of people buying new yachts dropped like 77%, and like 25 to 30,000 people that were building the yachts lost their jobs. It decimated the yacht building business because when the government said you're going to have to pay this, the rich guys were like, screw it, we'll buy it somewhere else. Right. We'll buy a used one. We'll just go around it. So the guys who were supposed to be benefiting from the tax on the rich guy ended up getting, kicked in the shorts. So that's an example of everyone is interconnected whenever you raise these taxes. So you say, well, the rich guy's going to pay his fair share. No, he's not. He's going to pay, and then somebody's going to lose something because of it. So that's kind of it took me an hour and a half to go back and forth. Then he kept going, well, that's because it wasn't well written. It's like, what does that mean? It wasn't well written. It was pretty simple. If you buy a luxury yacht, you're going to pay 10%.
All right. So
they went somebody else. There we go.
Downstream effects.
Exactly. Like when I asked Katie Wilson about who pays corporate taxes. She was a trick question. So that's why everybody's talking about it, and that's why you saw over 100,000 people signed up to go down there and talk about the new tax, an income tax. Don't call it a millionaire's tax; it's an income tax. And nice to have David Larson, Judge Larson, come on and give his position to the point that he can without saying too much, because if he ends up winning, he might be having that case come forward. The case of United States going to war, we have all of the big guns out front. I think the Ford is there, the Lincoln is there, and they are all waiting. And now we are waiting to find out. The negotiation going on between Iran and the United States, basically just coming down to, are you going to get rid of all of your nuclear abilities to be able to spin the uranium to the point to be able to make it like a nuclear bomb? I think it's 60% up. You can use that for energy. Anything spun beyond that creates a fusion that would allow that nuclear energy to be exploded on Israel. So they want to be able to keep the ability to continue to spin up and have their centrifuges working. And the United States is saying, nope, don't worry about it. We don't want you to do anything with nuclear. Nothing. Not for energy, because we don't trust you, and certainly not for weapons. So until they get to a place where I guess there's going to have to be some sort of timeline in place. Did they put the timeline in place? Because Joe thinks it's all Netanyahu.
100%.
Here we go, around 2 p.m. This is Pacific Time, Friday.
Well, they should make a deal, but they don't want to quite go far enough, and it's too bad. Look, we've been playing with them for 47 years, and that's a long time. They've been blowing the legs off our people, blowing the face off our people, the arms. They've been knocking out ships one by one. But every month there's something else, so you can't put up with it too long. We're not happy with the negotiation. They just don't want to. They don't want to say the key words. We're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They have to say we're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and they just can't quite get there. They want to enrich a little bit. You don't have to enrich when you have that much oil. So I'm not happy with the negotiation.
Right, and Benjamin Netanyahu claiming Iran is weeks away. I'm not going to play that again, Joe.
Can I play one?
Yeah, go ahead.
We assess that the American strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities has set back Iran's ability to develop nuclear weapons for many years to come. This achievement can continue indefinitely if Iran does not get access to nuclear material, which it won't.
The nuclear program they obliterated in June of last year.
Okay.
Their words, not mine.
It's a Friday, Joe.
All right, fine.
Hang on, just to bring you slightly in a better mood. Hang on.
What do you got? What do you got?
I got this. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, Nathan.
Why, it's good old reliable Nathan.
Traffic.
Okay, north of Shelton, our fatality investigation on State Route 3 at East Anthony Road appears to have traffic alternating at the scene now because those backups have really thinned down. Tacoma to Olympia, 55 minutes still. You've got a pretty stealthy backup from 6 mile backup from through JBLM into DuPont starting at Thorn Lane. After the main gate, you do begin to thin out. South 5 here in Seattle, we're still slow from the U District to I-90, about 20 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Not bad. North 5, though, is just not improving at all. We are still solid from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, 35 minutes through downtown. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. South 405 still slows from Bellevue down to the VMAC. Up in Bothell, North 405 and Northeast 195th. Just want to keep warning you, we've got a huge pothole in this left general purpose lane. Get out of that lane if you are heading that direction. I still don't know why that lane isn't closed. And then a heads up, tonight at 10, both directions of State Route 522 in Bothell will close at the 405 interchange through the weekend while crews tear down the old off-ramp from North 405 to 522. Lanes will reopen by 4 a.m. Monday, and there are detours that'll get you back onto 522. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
For almost 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. If comfort and energy savings matter to you, now you can save up to $2,000 on new heating and cooling systems. Home Comfort Alliance will replace your old system with one tailored to your home's layout while optimizing efficiency. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. Save up to $2,000 and schedule a free consultation for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package. For the best for your family, choose locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs. And for eggs with 3 times the omega-3, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Advanced Hair Restoration. I believe we have a song. I believe. Hudson, if you would please sing us. Uh-huh. Say, yep.
I'm a mailman. Don't be messing with me. I'm a mailman. Everything new. I'm a mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Hi, outside. All right, we'll get the letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, thank you, Andrew, for remembering the Nisqually earthquake. So you say you're going to sleep on the vessel, huh? Buddies, have a fine and dandy weekend. Sunny and 75. The last one out. No shirt, no shoes, no problem.
There you are. Brian in Arlington. whatever all that meant. Just so you know, if you guys go full coast to coast, I'll still tune in.
Nice. Hee-Haw Aaron says, more alien. UFO, not illegal.
Yes. Okay. Josh in Auburn says, Nate always has the best Wilcox Family Farm recipe. He needs his own book.
I'm working on it.
Oh, my. Brian in Bellevue says, Bald Millennial chiming in here. Also, the video only's ad sounds like a threat.
To who? Oh, video only?
Yeah.
Video only. Yeah, those guys are always buying TVs. Yeah. Thank you guys for continuing to talk about the tax deal, trying to fully understand it.
Braden in Snohomish says, I'm very surprised. I agree with almost everything I hear on this show, but y'all have no problem with lawmakers drinking on the job just because somebody else has done worse?
No, it's not that I approve of it. I'm just trying to put it on perspective. Plus, I just want to talk about the Argentinian stripper. Yeah. Rihanna in Arlington says, wow, life was literally madman back in those days. Yeah, that's where they got all the ideas from.
Unicycle Mike on Jonathan Cho's slides. His slides are actually called Easies, like easy. If you've ever been in a mental hospital, you know.
Okay. Thank you, Unicycle Michael, for that. Linda 360 says the Mexican UFO case. Did he get his pilot's license?
Unfortunately, no. He never flew again after that.
I wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't let him though.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wanted to. Ben, the security consultant on AI surveillance, he says, incorrect. Under all federal guidelines, you cannot record, listen to, transcribe, or be party to any audio conversation taking place in a public place, period. If in a private place or enclosed place, you must place a 4x6 sign stating that audio recordings are taking place.
You can have two-party consent or one-party consent. New Jersey's one party. You can record somebody in New Jersey. You can't in Washington.
Right. But this is just a basic privacy laws. Not that the NSA is...
They don't care. Doug in Mount Vernon says, Wilcox recipes. Fitzgibbons, scrambled eggs with pepper, Spam, bacon, and liberal use of whiskey.
The eggs Fitzgibbon.
Yes.
Okay. Rachel in the 425.
Were you looking for a rim shot?
Maybe.
No, you won't. Go ask for it. It's going to kind of ruin it, but go ahead. There you are.
Okay. Rachel in the 425. Well, since the look over here tactics regarding aliens still isn't distracting everyone from the Epstein files, it looks like we're headed into World War III because other countries are starting to remove their top officials out of Iran. If another world war isn't enough to distract people from the Epstein files, I don't know what cards Trump has left to play. Actually, Nancy Guthrie being delivered back home by aliens just might be enough.
And Brian in Olympia says, you mean that nuclear program that was obliterated? He must be somehow related to you.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny.
This comes to us from Jesse B., who says, Happy Friday, gentlemen. It's Leap Day weekend. The last time we did this, the world shut down, so everybody please behave. We don't want a repeat of that social experiment now, do we? Also, kudos on today's guests. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Joe deserves a substantial raise.
Okay.
I didn't realize that Leap Day, the last Leap Day was COVID.
No, didn't know. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
well, thank you for that, Jesse.
That's all she wrote.
So she's saying you deserve a raise?
Yes.
Okay.
She left the bloomer hanging
round my bed. Hang on one more time.
Why, it's good old reliable Nathan.
Whoa, what is he doing?
Come on, Nate.
All right, we've cleared out quickly across most of our major routes this evening. Here's what's left. Tacoma to Olympia, still hovering at 1 hour. South 5 just past Bridgeport Way. We've got a new crash blocking that right lane. Beyond that, a 6-mile backup between JBLM and DuPont. South 5 into Seattle, still heavy from the U District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. North 5, just scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. About a half hour still to make it through downtown Seattle. Westbound 520, you're going to jam up at Montlake over to I-5. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. We're still looking scattered back up South 405 from closer to Northeast 8th down to the VMAC, and really everywhere else is pretty much cleared out. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO. News Radio 97.3 FM.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio.